in the news recently, there was an announcement by Sesame Street that they were introducing a new character. And the executive producer said it was to help little kids get ready for the escalating problem of what she called Mean Girls Syndrome on the rise. As we know, girls have always had an instinct about deploying words as weapons instead of their fists. But now, computers and cell phones with cameras have made it so much easier to taunt each other about physical flaws or boys about their vulnerabilities. And since we've always expected girls to show the most empathy, a lot of people think it's time for a new conversation with middle school and teenage girls about the impulses that can drive you. So ABC's Primetime is looking more closely at what girls can do when they are anonymous and they act in numbers. This is a famous experiment from the 1970s showing how easily kids will gang up, exhibit prejudice for no rational reason.
Blue-eyed people are better than brown-eyed people.
For one day, a teacher gave preferential treatment to her blue-eyed students, but treated the brown-eyed kids as inferiors.
What's wrong with being called brown-eyed?
It means that we're stupider. No, not that.
It didn't take long for the students to start doing it too.
Russell called me names and I hit him in the gut.
What did he call you?
Brown eyes.
Then and now, but this one's real.
Happy birthday to you.
John Halligan is a devoted dad whose kids always knew they could turn to him for help.
Oh my God, this is so cool! Oh, thank you so much, Mom.
But his son Ryan had learning and motor disabilities that made him a little more awkward than the other kids.
Go over there.
No.
Well, I am.
When Ryan was bullied by boys, Dad got him into counseling and taught him self-defense. But something new. Ryan thought he had an online friendship with a girl he had a crush on.
We were bitches.
It was Ashley, who had once been his pal, now one of the popular girls, who decided to tell Ryan they liked him to trick him.
When he sort of got interested, we're like, oh, well, we would never go for someone like you. I can't believe you would think that. Like, really, really cruel stuff that we said.
You're just a loser. I would never want anything to do with you.
Ryan had no fists to defend against that.
He said, girls like you are the kind of people that make me want to kill myself. And at the time, we were like, why would you say something like that?
Later, we'll tell you what happened and of Ashley's remorse. Girls can be masters of emotional wilding in a world where everything has changed. Remember crush notes, love notes? Well, these photos are the equivalent online for some girls today. And while girls can always be critical, think of your personal flaws put online by dozens of people attacking you. A high school girl with multiple sclerosis was bombarded with messages saying everyone hates you, telling her to just die. And even if you ask your kids, they often don't tell you. And try to find out? I asked the producer of this report to sit down and see if she could find out if her teenage daughter has a website and journal online. Right away, she asked for help.
Okay.
I need help.
All right, this is where if you know someone's MySpace name, you can invite them in.
She learned, among other things, there's one site that only permits those with student email addresses to enter.
Unfortunately, we can't.
Why?
Because we're not friends with her.
So I have to trick my own daughter to think that I'm her friend
If
for
you
her
don't-
to say yes.
If you
for
don't
me
want her to
lie.
know.
And here, one of the teenage girls we interviewed took us to her home to show us the attacks on her from an innocent posting about a vacation.
You can't honestly sit here and tell me that anyone could be jealous of a slut. Oh, I wish I could spread my legs that far for any random guy that walks along. Yeah, or not. Just so you
While
know,
she and her
the
friends
church
are
doesn't
showing
make
us
you
the
a good person.
postings, her father walks in and hears about the insults and the web journal for the first time.
I didn't know you were doing that.
He's disturbed. Why is she keeping an open diary of her life for strangers?
I don't like this at all.
Dad, you're better off not knowing. It's a harsh reality. It's high school. See, I just got myself in trouble. I can sit here and freaking start crying now.
It's a world that parents cannot penetrate, like the loving parents of Ryan Halligan, who had no idea he was also communicating online with a friend about death. He hanged himself.
I hope I never receive a phone call like this again for the rest of my life. I was never prepared for what I heard on the other end, Johnny, Ryan's dead.
And Ashley, the girl once Ryan's pal, who then became part of those who taunted him, was 14 then. She's now 16, and came forward to tell us it was shattering. John Halligan says he forgave Ashley. He didn't see any reason why two kids should be hurt.
I don't blame her for Ryan's death.
Instead, John Halligan travels to school after school teaching kids and educators what can happen with boys like Ryan. And someday, what will you say to Ryan?
I love you. Boy, did I miss you.